Welcome back, folks. Be Sure 94 with another WCW Monday Nitro. Thank you so much, everybody, for keeping this save going. You guys have been amazing. The last video hit well over the views and likes goal that I could have ever imagined. So thank you so much for that. If you are, for whatever reason, not subscribed or not following already and you just found this video, please make sure you go back and watch what we're doing storyline-wise, as well as hitting that subscribe button so you get alerted every time I post a video. That way you don't miss any stories or storylines or shows. You don't want to miss anything because I do really try hard to keep the storylines going each week, and you don't want to miss something and then be confused when we get to the pay-per-view. So having said that, let's get to our first week of October 2002 WCW Monday Nitro. We are in front of 6,500 people today. Tonight's show is going to start with a recap of last week, where we see Chris Kanyon, who gets the pinfall on Booker T and becomes the #1 contender for the WCW Championship, as he will go one-on-one with the Monster Abyss at Halloween Havoc. We have a 70 rating on that opening video segment, and Ken Shamrock's storyline advanced because he was in the Fatal 4-Way, and the WCW Championship storyline has advanced as well. So our main event of Halloween Havoc is already set up. I've already done the pre-booking for it, but it is now ready to go. So let's move forward with our WCW Monday Nitro. And we open the show in a decent match. Steve Corino and Shane Douglas defeat Triple X in 7:33 when Steve Corino pins Elix Skipper with an old school expulsion. Shane Douglas is 61, Corino a 55, Skipper is 64, Daniels a 61. The franchise story has advanced with this segment. The announcing choir lifted the match. 61 overall rating. No complaints here at all. This is simple. We're trying to get Corino and Shane over more of the team, as they are feuding with America's Most Wanted. Triple X is doing what they do best, which is more or less just being a fodder tag team for the division. Skipper's contract has about 5 months left on it, and we'll be letting him go when that contract is up, and Daniels will become a solo act. So looking forward to that situation potentially. As Steve Corino and Shane Douglas do get the win here again, like I said, we get a 61 rating, so solid stuff out of everybody here. Post-match, Shane Douglas and Steve Corino talk crap about America's Most Wanted and how they beat them last week when they were trying to run their mouths and say that we were not anything special after they beat myself and Bam Bam, and we got rid of the problem in Bam Bam Bigelow, and now with Steve Corino, we are on the rise to get our WCW Tag Team Championship. 71 rating on that post-match promo from Shane and Steve Corino. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. We get an in-ring promo from the new #1 contender, Chris Kanyon, where he talks about and he thanks the fans for having the support that they've given him over the past 2 years here in World Championship Wrestling, even though he may not have agreed or they agreed with everything he said. They've always had his back, and last week, he really showed that he belongs in the main event here in World Championship Wrestling, and he is going to get that shot at Abyss at Halloween Havoc, and he is not going to squander it. This is his one shot to become WCW champion. 63 rating on his promo. He gets interrupted by James Mitchell and says that he laughs at Kanyon pretty much and says that his monster is going to squash him like a bug at Halloween Havoc. But as for tonight, he says Chris Kanyon will face Vampire Warrior next after commercial break. So 64 rating on that. Mitchell obviously did great, and the storyline has advanced. And in a battle that had good heat and decent wrestling, Chris Kanyon defeats Vampire Warrior in 10 minutes by pinfall with a flatliner. Vampire Warrior 48, Kanyon is 65, storyline has advanced. They have great chemistry, and the announce quality of the match. 58 rating, a little bit lower than we'd like, but Kanyon gets a win over one member of the Nightbreed, which I'm sure will piss off James Mitchell and Abyss. Backstage, we get a promo from the Steiner brothers, as tonight they will defend the WCW Tag Team Championships against Jeff Jarrett and BG James, the Dynasty. As the Steiner brothers say, they have taken on anybody and everybody who wants a shot at these belts, and these punks ain't gonna have their shot tonight. Tonight, the story is gonna end the same way it always has. The Steiner brothers are going to be the best tag team in the world, and still, your WCW Tag Team Champions. 65 rating on the promo from the Steiner Bros. In a decent match, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeats Rene Dupree in 5:35 by pinfall with a top rope Hurricane Rana. Mysterio a 92, Dupree a 35. Rey Mysterio was shown greatly in this match, and the match got the crowd hotter. This is simply Mysterio needed a win, get some momentum back going into Halloween Havoc. Rene Dupree was in a spot where I wanted to see what his rating would be, and he's nowhere close to being ready yet, so we're just going to send him right back down to developmental. And Mysterio, like I said, gets a win with a shocking rating of a 70. Post-match, Mysterio grabs a microphone and accepts Kevin Nash's challenge for Halloween Havoc. Mysterio's gimmick is getting a little stale, so we will edit that to make sure that's all good. Okay, cool. We got that all situated. Mysterio and Nash coming your way at Halloween Havoc for the final time. 68 rating there. Backstage, Dustin Rhodes goes into Paul Heyman's office and he's trying to get information about who this masked man is. Heyman says he's got no idea who it is either. He has no information. He's trying to explain to Dustin, you know, if I knew who it was, obviously I would tell you. This is not a situation of me trying to play you. I really don't know who it is. All I can say is if you want security, I can give you some. But I don't know who this is. I got to get to my contract signing with Mark Jindrak. If you want, just hang out in the office. He's not going to come attack you in my office here. Just hang out here, and we'll go from there. So, obviously, last week, a masked man attacked Dustin Rhodes, and Dustin Rhodes is starting to trying to figure out who this is that is attacked him. 63 rating on that. Paul Heyman comes down to the ring, as he said, and gets Mark Jindrak to sign the contract for Halloween Havoc, which Jindrak eventually does, and Heyman says that his opponent will be announced at Halloween Havoc when the match starts. Jindrak will not know who it is before then, and as for tonight, he will have a non-title match against Rob Van Dam. 68 rating on that. TV title star has advanced. So Jindrak has officially signed the contract for the TV title match at Halloween Havoc. In and about the head, fantastic heat and good wrestling. Rob Van Dam defeats Mark Jindrak in 13:22. When Jindrak gets disqualified, Ken Shamrock attacks RVD from behind. Jindrak at 62, Rob Van Dam at 81. All the storylines have advanced. The match got the crowd hotter. 72 rating on the match. Shamrock, for some reason, has attacked Rob Van Dam, and Jindrak kind of just, gets out of the way there. Very good match out of the TV champion and Rob Van Dam. No complaints here whatsoever. A very good match here on Nitro. Post-match, Ken Shamrock locks in the ankle lock on Rob Van Dam until Rob Van Dam passes out from the pain of the ankle lock as security tries to break this up. We're starting off a storyline with Shamrock and Rob Van Dam. So looking forward to that. I think this is going to be an amazing feud. So this is where we're starting. Shamrock has locked the ankle lock on RVD, and he passed out from the pain. We get a quick little backstage promo from Kevin Nash as he's walked in. Says he got word that Mysterio accepted his challenge, and he just kind of smiles and says that at Halloween Havoc, Kevin Nash is going to show why he is the most dominant giant in professional wrestling when he squashes that midget Rey Mysterio at Halloween Havoc. 68 rating out of Kevin Nash. Storyline has advanced, and we have that match, like I said, at Halloween Havoc coming your way. We get a video of what Rhino did last week, hitting the gore on Mike Awesome, who already had cracked ribs, and now Rhino obviously made that worse by hitting the gore on Awesome. We do know the US title match is going to happen at Halloween Havoc, and a no countouts, no DQ. But what conditions Mike Awesome going to be in with cracked ribs and getting gored last week? We know Rhino's 100%. Mike Awesome might not be. So 63 rating on that little recap there. And about the head great heat and decent wrestling, Rhino defeats the Hurricane in 10 minutes with a gore. Rhino is 62, the Hurricane is 63. The US title story has advanced, and they announced quality to the match with a 65 rating. Simply put, Rhino is going to keep getting momentum as he gets the win over the Hurricane. Good match here for the TV here. And we're going to try to keep building up Rhino towards this US title match. And the Hurricane does the right thing here. He's being a great little kind of fodder for people, but he's also having great matches, so no complaints. Dustin leaves the GM's office and he is attacked by the masked man, but for whatever reason, the masked man is dressed like Gold Dust, his WWE character, Dustin Rhodes is, and it almost looks like he's playing mind games with him because this time, the attacker has the face paint of Gold Dust, has the whole suit and everything, so we can't tell who he is. Um, but he makes sure that Dustin Rhodes, the last thing he sees as he's laying on the ground, is the face of his former character, Gold Dust. 70 rating there. I'm actually going to have a really good time writing this. I think this is going to be fun. Story has advanced and gained heat. 70 rating there, so good stuff. Hopefully you guys can try to figure out who this masked person is. If you have any ideas, please put them in the comments. I'd love to see who you guys think it is. 70 rating on that segment. In a decent match, Jamie Noble defeats Scott Taylor in 6:42 by pinfall. Jamie Noble is 76, Scott Taylor 51, 70 rating on the match. Not much to really talk about here. Jamie Noble is getting more wins as we are slowly prepping him for a potential shot at one of the mid-card titles, whether it be the TV title or US title. And I'm just trying to make sure he is going to be in a spot where he is a legitimate threat. And Scott Taylor just takes the pin here because I needed a babyface for Noble to beat on his path up the card. So good stuff here. 70 rating out of these two men. Good stuff. We get a backstage promo from Jeff Jarrett and BG James saying that tonight is their night. They are going to win the WCW Tag Team Championships from the Steiner brothers. They finally got the Dudleys out of their lives, and that they are going to become champions here tonight once again. 63 promo out of these guys here. Storyline has advanced. And in our main event of the evening, and about that had great heat and decent wrestling, the Steiner brothers defeat the Dynasty in 13 minutes when Rick Steiner pins Jeff Jarrett with a top rope bulldog. Steiner brothers makes defense number 2 of their WCW Tag Team title reign. This is a pinfall due to the fact that the Dudleys pull BG James out of the ring, so he cannot try to help Jeff Jarrett as the match ends. BG of 56, Jeff is 74, Rick of 49, Scott is 78. Storyline has advanced, and the Steiner brothers have great chemistry. Like I said, 70 rating on the main event. And as the show ends, the Dudleys slide a table into the ring. Jeff Jarrett slides away, and BG James takes the wrath of a 3D through the table. As the Steiner brothers obviously retained, and Jeff Jarrett is looking on in horror as the Dudleys have gotten some revenge on Double J and BG James. Storyline has advanced and gained heat to end the show with a 74 rating, and that's how we go off the air here for WCW Monday Nitro. Let's see what we get for a rating for our show. I'm a little nervous. I think we're going to be in the low 70s for this show. We are very close to hitting that next level of companies, so here we go. Popularity dropped in 19 regions with only a 71 rating show. Increased our popularity in 10 regions, so that's solid, but we did lose popularity. So this is where we're going to have a hard time because we're now at that, I won't say glass ceiling, but we're definitely right there where, unfortunately, we're so close to getting to the big instead of medium that we need to hit on all cylinders on all shows, and unfortunately this show just didn't do that. Now, I'd like to say that there was a lot of great stuff on this show. There was nobody that was really... There was nothing that was a dud. Everything was actually pretty solid. We just didn't have that crazy segment that took us over the edge, but that's cool. I think we grow next week with more of that, and as well as we get into Halloween Havoc. The goal here is to just keep staying in the steady path to try to take over WWE. We're trying to be the #1 company in the world, so that's our goal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Nitro, though. Like I said, try to figure out who this masked man is. Try to figure out who Mark Jindrak's opponent is going to be at Halloween Havoc. Hopefully you liked the announcements as we had Rey Mysterio and Nash's match become official. Rhino and Awesome are now going to be no DQ, no holds barred. Chris Kanyon's going to face Abyss for the WCW title. So a lot of great stuff coming your way for the next Nitros and Halloween Havoc. Let's keep crushing that like goal, guys. Please, if you comment, obviously I will respond as you saw with the last video. So thank you so much for keeping this alive, and we'll see you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for our next WCW Monday Nitro.